people, welcome to the Manna Motivation YouTube channel. Sometimes parents want to provide their children with things that exceed what they already have. In order to do the best for your children, Manna Member, consistently practice these strategies. 5 of these recent strategies include interesting studies that are worth checking out. If you want more of this content, subscribe to the Manna Motivation YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. Make them do chores. Researchers at La Trobe University in Australia believe that performing the tasks around the home improves more than just a child's physical ability. They also develop better working memory, inhibition, and other success-predicting behaviors. They did studies in 3 categories: self-care, other care, and pet care. Dividing chores into peer-reviewed activities in the Australian Occupational Therapy Journal, they found that kids who did their chores, including self-care and other care, tend to be stronger academically and have stronger problem-solving skills. Kids who were good at reading and writing books also became good. Since pet care work isn't as physically demanding, or because the kids didn't view responsibility in the same way as they did on other household chores like walking and feeding a dog, it might not seem like work. The bottom line, it's time to give your kids a job. They might not love the idea at first, but science is on your side. Teach them to be polite. Teaching children to always say please when they ask for something can reinforce the idea that they should be polite. When they're old enough, repeating this will help convince others and make them more persuasive. Repetitiously teaching children to say thank you, which is a phrase known for stimulating happiness, making stress easier to handle, and developing gratitude, is good for beginners in their life by allowing them to enjoy things. Teaching basic manners like please and thank you lets people appreciate the best bits of being a good friend and family member. Work on their emotional intelligence. There is a higher chance of success for children who develop emotional intelligence. This improvement can be seen after the child enters school, has a job, and enters adulthood. Many ways exist to develop emotional intelligence. At the outset, situate your concepts of thinking and emotions into the model by asking them for their ideas and try not to judge. This is because kids have a different set of needs and expectations. As they are still learning, they often find attention inefficient, so don't expect too much. Steer them towards video games. A new study in Europe determined that the more time kids spend playing video games, the smarter they are. Kids who spend more time playing video games has higher IQs than those who don't. TV and social media took a backseat to gaming. Kids today spend a large number of hours playing video games. On average, 1 in 5 kids consumed more than 5 hours of screen time daily. This study supports that if kids are going to be spending so many hours staring at screens, the better for them to be dedicated to games. Help them figure out their passions. This study was an interesting look at whether passion, grit, or mindset has more of a correlation with athletic success. Researchers wanted to determine whether different types of vocations were associated with more certain qualities than others. In this case, the researchers examined how people's successfulness in an athletic context correlated with a person's passion, grit, and mindset. Many young people have great talent and passion, but the strength of their mindset and determination often play a smaller role. For people who are really good at their job, passion is everything. It's the key to success, as a researcher said. Kids need to explore different pastimes to narrow down their true strengths. It's in their best interest to keep them exploring until they find the one that suits them. Even though parents never know what their future legacy story will be, chances are their children will greatly impact it. Be a warm, responsive, and accepting parent. In 1938, Harvard University conducted a special study to find the secret to raising successful people. In the Harvard Grant Study, the first study of its kind, 268 male Harvard students, including John F. Kennedy, were tracked over the next 70 years. Their physical and emotional health were recorded, as well as their successes or failures during that time. With a nurtured upbringing, success and happiness are more achievable. If you want the best chance of leading an accepted, successful, and happy life, nurture your childhood. Bowlby and Ainsworth developed the attachment theory. stating that children who receive warm and nurturing care from a caregiver can develop a secure attachment. Children with a secure attachment are more likely to experience developmentally positive outcomes. Humans are dependent on their experiences and interactions. Experience with a caring parent, for example, is important for mental health development. Childhood memories serve as strength throughout life. Fortunately, the best way to raise successful kids is to be a warm, responsive, and accepting parent and cultivate deep relationships with your family. Master and teach emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is crucial on achieving success and happiness in this world. Emotional regulation is not something children are born with. It's more important for parents to teach their children how to control their emotions. However, teaching emotion regulation is not simply giving kids activity or games to play with. Emotion regulation comes primarily from watching the parents and seeing how they regulate themselves. If we are distraught and yell at our kids every time they break a law, we cannot expect our kids to be able to stay calm when they are upset. Until your child learns how to regulate their emotions and make good choices, it might be best for you to work on mastering both self-regulation and the role of a good model. Together, it will go a long way in teaching your child how to manage their feelings. Let them practice decision-making. As parents, we want to protect our children, but controlling or helicopter parenting can hinder rather than enhance a child's development. Making sound decisions require practice, which can only come from experiences. With autonomy, children will be able to learn how to make good choices and decisions by making their own choices. To encourage children to make the right decision, you can use sentences like, "Children should be allowed to choose over non-safety and health-related things." With such instilling words of wisdom into their developing minds, the child will learn to wisely make the best choices. Giving them some autonomy also promotes self-trust and self-esteem. While machines can be more efficient if completing tasks, it is difficult to do well if someone does not want to succeed. People need a reason to be motivated, and this motivator varies for each individual. In school, there are a number of choices that individuals have, and the freedom to choose one's own path is a key motivator. For a child to be motivated, they need the autonomy to choose. That initiative is what makes children excel from their peers. Challenge them just enough. Without a goal to work towards, motivation quickly vanishes. As long as children can achieve success, they maintain motivation. If kids feel too challenging, give them something within their current skill level. Provide them with an opportunity to grow. If schoolwork seems too easy and your child is struggling, you can help them find any learning materials that you think might be helpful. When schoolwork gets too challenging for their current level, work with the school or seek a tutor to help them out. Stop using reward and punishment. Motivate them through values. A reward or punishment is not a long-term solution to continued motivation. Free lunch, promotions, vacations, these are all positive systems that engage people while they desire something of worth. If parents use incentives and punishments to encourage kids to do schoolwork, it could be difficult for them to leave the education system at some point. Even if they dislike learning or school, children might eventually quit or do poorly in the educational system. The way to motivate kids is by sharing your values. Learning is important because it helps us develop our own intrinsic motivation. If kids are interested and enjoy learning, they will intrinsically be motivated to succeed. So, make sure your kid is interested in learning and not just bored taking tests. Kind, firm, and respectful discipline. Children with parents who are authoritative tend to do better in school, have better coping skills, and less likely to drop out from school. Tough parents are often afraid that kindness will allow their children to rule the house. But being kind doesn't mean permissiveness. Being tough means you have set rules, manage boundaries, and oversee your child's behavior. However, it is possible to be kind and permissive simultaneously if you know how. Positive parenting is a popular philosophy of authoritative parenting that emphasizes using positive instructions and mutual respect to each other. With inductive parenting, parenting, children are taught to think critically from the time they're born. It also provides them with their values and important social skills like respect and obedience. While many parents encourage this style of parenting, an authoritative approach is highly encouraged by society in general. Listen to science and avoid parenting myths. Making them do chores, tough love, etc. are popular parenting advice you can find online. Science shows that these parenting myths not only fail in raising healthy children, but some of them are detrimental to kids. There are lessons that can be learned from parenting no matter how different your child is to you. These lessons will help you thrive as a parent. This means science-based parenting. It doesn't come from a doctrine, opinion, personal beliefs, or bias. The information comes from rigorous peer-reviewed research that has been published by scientists around the world to help parents raise successful children. Let children take the lead in easy or moderately difficult tasks. A 2021 study led by Helena Obradovic, Stanford University professor, sees that children who are provided guidelines for tasks feel frustrated when too much parental involvement. The research looked at children who were cleaning, playing, and discussing a problem. The conclusion of the study suggests parents should take a step back from directing their children and let them figure out how to play, clean, or solve problems. Too much direct engagement can come at a cost to kids' abilities to control their own attention, behavior, and emotions. When parents let kids take the lead in their interactions, children practice self-regulation skills and build independence, according to Obradovic in the study. Teach kids social skills. Researchers found a correlation between early social skills and late success after tracking 707 kids from kindergarten to graduate school. As the children entered third grade, those who had more friends and engaged in more self-directed play were more likely to finish their college degree or achieve higher levels of mental health. The 20-year study showed that socially competent children who could communicate, cooperate, and resolve their problems all on their own were more likely to earn a college degree and have a full-time job at age 25 than those with limited social skills. Those with social difficulties were also more likely to be arrested, binge drinking, and applying for public housing. This study shows that helping children develop social and emotional skills is one of the most important things we can do to prepare them for a healthy future. According to Kristen Schubert, program director at the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, which funded the research in a release. Have high expectations. Using data from a national survey of 6,600 children born in 2001, Professor Neil Halfon and his colleagues revealed that the expectations parents hold for the kids have an overwhelming effect on their futures. He said, parents who saw college in their child's future seem to manage their child toward that goal irrespective of their income and other assets. A study found that 57% of the students who did worse were expected to attend college by their parents, while 96% of the students who performed better were expected to attend college. When someone believes that someone else is doing well, it can serve as an amazing self-fulfilling prophecy. The Pygmalion effect states that people's expectations of each other can impact their behavior and success. Have a healthy relationship with your child. Kids with chaotic households often have worse success and long-term outcomes than those in stable families. There are some studies that show children in non-conflictual single-parent families have better outcomes than children with two-parent families when it comes to socio-economic success. The author's opinion is that this could be because those children are accustomed to stable relationships and mom or dad stays at home, not working outside the home. A big part about how children fare after divorce relates to the conflict that comes before it. Hughes explains how the negative effect of a divorce has on parents may impact children's adjustment path in the process. One study found that contact between fathers with little or no custody and their offspring after a divorce will have more positive effects. However, conflict among the children will reduce the benefits of visits between father and children. Many children know the heartache of a parent's divorce. Even if it happened 10 years ago, these kids still experience pain and distress because they remember the difficult time in their life when they were young. It is important to have open conversations with children about difficult topics like divorce and give them as many opportunities to talk about their feelings as possible. Attain higher educational levels. A 2014 study led by the University of Michigan psychologist Sandra Tang found that mothers who finished high school or college were more likely to raise kids with the same. A study of over 14,000 children born in the U.S. to teen mothers between 1998 and 2007 found that children born to teen mothers were less likely to complete high school or go on to college than the national average. One of the leading factors in children becoming successful in life is parents' educational level when the child was 8 years old. In a university's longitudinal study, 856 people were surveyed and found that these parental efforts predicted success later on. Teach kids math early. A 2007 meta-analysis on 3.5 million American, Canadian, and English kids found that developing math skills early is a huge advantage. The paramount importance of early math skills, of beginning school with a knowledge of numbers, number order, and other rudimentary math concepts is one of the puzzles coming out of the study, according to co-author and Northwestern University researcher Greg Duncan. Mastery of early math skills predict not only future math achievement, it also predicts future reading achievement. That's it for this video, Manna Member. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you feel like we've delivered value, please share this video with one person. That's right, just one person, as a token of your appreciation for the hard work we put into making content that educates and helps you on your mission of building your own fortune. Remember, you can watch video after video, but it isn't until you actually take action that you'll start to see results. See you soon!